Today, all eyes are on the Constitutional Court, which is set to hear the crucial application on the secret ballot in Parliament in the vote of no confidence against President Jacob Zuma. Opposition parties have joined hands with Save SA to organize another anti-Zuma opposition march to coincide with the secret ballot hearing. The UDM has brought the case after several failed attempts by opposition parties to have Zuma ousted.
Thousands of South Africans to come out today and show force and tell President Jacob Zuma and the Guptas that the country is not for sale, and to say that the supremacy of the Constitution stands and that we respect the rule of law and the judiciary. Ultimately, we are political parties that respect the rule of law and the Constitution, and whatever outcome the Constitutional Court provides the people of South Africa will upset. Well, that's one interpretation of the matter that's before the Constitutional Court. But as I said, ultimately we respect whatever outcome the court comes to. This is a critical time for South Africa. If we do not solve the issues of South Africa today and we do not fight today, there may not be a country that we fight for tomorrow.
Joining us live from Johannesburg in Mary Fitzgerald Square is ANN7 reporter Calden. Good morning once again, Calden. We understand that the march is expected to commence at 9 a.m. this morning. It's just gone past 9. Can you talk us through the atmosphere there at Mary Fitzgerald Square?
Definitely, Lauren, according to DA's Mabini Siabe, he had said that the march is expected to start at 9, which already is 9. You can see behind me, people have started trickling in. DA, EFF members, UDM members, ordinary South Africans have gathered. But the number doesn't look much promising, as earlier DA's Mabini Siabe has said that they're expecting hundreds and thousands of supporters to come. So people are still trickling in. We are yet to start the march. But we have an ordinary South African with us. She says she's braced the weather to come and participate in this march. Thank you so much for speaking to us, Lillian. Can you tell me what is your main purpose of coming here and participating in this march and marching to Constitutional Court?
It's very important for us to be here, and we show solidarity with all South Africans. We are one voice against corruption, and we would like the Constitutional Court to give the secret ballot so that all politicians can vote with their conscience and we can have a country free of corruption.
But do you know, as a ordinary South African citizen, that the Speaker of the Parliament, Baleka Mbete, said that the Court cannot in any way, tell the Parliament or the National Assembly, to go ahead with the secret ballot, and she does not have that power as well.
Yes, but if there is a way in law to give people the freedom to vote, then it must be done by the Constitutional Court. So we leave it in their hands, and we're here to support and to show solidarity with all South Africans. We are one nation. We stand together against corruption.
So you believe that President Jacob Zuma is corrupt and he should stand down, but he has not been proven, and the state capture report is yet to be reviewed and, pronounce him guilty. Even after that, do you believe that President Jacob Zuma is still guilty?
Well, you can have a look at the evidence that's mounting. You look at Eskom, you look at all the SMEs, you look at what's happening with the nuclear deal. There's just so much evidence at the moment. And the new thing is that vaccines are being enforced by fear factor to get people to go for vaccines today. 2 million. The health department can't pay for their nurses and their doctors, but they can all of a sudden find money for vaccines. Where does the money come from? One has to ask that question. What's in the vaccines? Would you take a risk with your child getting autism? Or, they could be contaminated. We have no idea. I think that's a bad thing for that. Every child, every human being has a constitutional right not to have their body tampered with. So there's so many things, and I think we need to stand together. That's the only thing to do.
So in future, will we see ordinary South African like yourselves marching against corruption? If it's the other companies, that has been proven guilty so many times, if they come out and say, if I can say, the white monopoly capital, which people recently talk about, and that has come in news, it's not something that we should keep quiet and sit about. Will you come out as an ordinary South African and protest against them as well?
Yes, absolutely. Corruption is corruption. It doesn't matter where it comes from. It's interesting that you mentioned white monopoly capital, because that's a PR slogan that's been paid for. Yes, exactly, because it's now being fanned.
Ordinary South Africans would like to know,
Exactly.
Like yourself, come out and talk to us.
Yes. So one wants to know where that information comes from and who's perpetuating that. When you march, and we've been on 3 or 4 marches already, there's a great sense of unity amongst the people. Not racism, it's unity. And I think that's what scares people.
Thank you so much, and we hope you'll start marching sooner so that we don't miss the court case, which is starting at 10, I'm told, but we are yet to begin the march from Mary Fitzgerald Square to Constitutional Court.
Thank you so much for that update there. Talking to an ordinary citizen there from Mary Fitzgerald Square, where opposition parties have joined hands with Save SA to organize another anti-Zuma opposition march to coincide with the secret ballot hearing that is expected to take place at 10 a.m. this morning at the Constitutional Court.